Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dumbass Podcast Show. In this podcast show, we will be discussing a wide variety of things, including but not limited to anime news, movies, gaming news, world news, and other topics. We'll be choosing through 10 random from either you guys or friends we know in person. This is our first podcast, so we're still trying new things. We don't have a set schedule yet, so nothing will be consistent. Hopefully, things will be done on Fridays, but we'll see in time. Okay, for introductions, I'm going to start off by saying I'm Dell. I work at Red Bull. I'm a gamer, a music enthusiast, and other things. I recently got engaged, so that's something cool about me. But that's not much to tell. So you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves.
And I work with Dale.
Would you like to add on?
Yeah, give us a little more detail, man.
No, I'm the knight.
I'm the
So you a big ass Batman, man.
Yes.
Alright, someone else want to
Okay.
introduce?
Alright,
Or I
God
guess
damn it.
we'll go. Wait, who's going? Am I going
okay,
or are
I'll
you
go.
going?
I'll go. All right. My name is Storyteller. I have been writing for 14 years, and I am working on publishing a novel this year.
You are?
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh. Good for
Never
you.
tells us anything anymore.
No.
Alright,
Motherfuckers, you never ask.
another person.
You don't
He
tell!
never told us.
What am I gonna act like a fucking obnoxious jackass? Hey guys, I'm gonna publish a book this year. I'm better than you. That just sounds so rude.
Alright, come on, someone else.
I am Czar Bloodheart. I am a gamer, majorly, and I have no job right now, which kind of sucks. I'm trying to look for one. But there's nothing really fancy or special about me. So, next
I
person.
keep telling him to apply for KFC, but he just doesn't do it.
I don't want to go work at KFC.
You dare ties you. The toughest choices require the strongest of wills. All right?
There you go.
He's got a point there.
Alright, someone else?
All right, Duck, you go.
My name is Doug. I'm in a shitty mood. Until I feel better, I'm gonna be quiet. Fuck you.
All right.
That's
Wait,
me.
what happened?
Crap. What happened? Yeah.
Yeah. You all right?
He's probably not going to say it on podcast.
Well, yeah.
Go,
Alright then.
Type it in chat.
go ahead, Metallic Reptile.
I am Metallic Reptile. Currently unemployed. Currently moved to a different state. So right now I have nothing much going on right now. So on a dumbass podcast.
Yeah,
Very
that's
unproductive
basically our
life.
podcast. So, our first topic today is it okay to let your partner drive your vehicle / be the one to drive you to places? Anyone can go.
I personally think that it's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as we get to where we need to go and it doesn't end up with us getting severely hurt, I really do not care. I mean, I don't see why people think that's such a bad thing to let someone else drive.
Yeah.
Else.
It's kind of
I
a
agree.
weird thing to do.
I agree with Czar with that one. I mean, as
Same.
long as you, I mean, it also goes, you apply gas money. I really don't see the issue. And there's also this whole thing about like men supposed to be the one to drive the women around. I mean, we're in 2020. That shit's
Exactly.
pretty much passed on. I mean, that shit died off like back in fucking 2010. To be honest with you, in my opinion, it did. So we're in the new decade here. That shit's over with. Like this whole dominance or like men's supposed to do this and the woman's supposed to do that. That's all pretty much said and done over with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same.
I'd say
Oh, okay.
yes. Well, I was just gonna say, personally, as like I would want to do like everything for her, but I wouldn't have a fit if she drove. Like I'd prefer to, but it's fine.
Yes.
Honestly, I
Just-
feel like
just-
it's like,
just
hey,
from my
you're in the mood to drive. just drive. If you're not, just let
Yeah. I said this last time we tried, and in my opinion here, take it from a guy who recently tried to teach my partner how to drive. I'm absolutely fine with it as long as that partner is willing to learn the way I'm trying to educate them to and doesn't run into a ditch twice like before. Then everything's fine because you could just chill and look at your phone while they're driving, so everything's fine. Just don't kill me. That's it.
Look at the Twitters.
Look at the fucking arguments.
The arguments.
Anybody else got opinion? If not, we'll move on to the
I
next
don't.
topic.
Girls should be allowed to drive as much as men do. They should be allowed to drive.
Duck.
2020 equal rights.
Equal rights.
Whatever.
Alright. Duck tried to say something.
Hey,
Duck.
If they want to drive. I don't care.
All right.
Alright.
All right.
Yeah. Let's cover it.
All right. So the next topic here, we discussed this last time. If you guys don't know, I'll allow myself to tell you what happened. We tried to do a podcast in person with all of us, except Michael wasn't there for reasons.
You mean metal?
Yeah.
I don't think he minds. Anywho,
I don't.
Anywho, we tried and we had some good recordings then. However, I can't remember whose computer messed up, but apparently it didn't publish by the time we left our friend's house after recording. It was such a fail, so we're kind of redoing it right now. But anywho, on the topic we've discussed before, it was our second one. How do you feel about anime quality throughout the years? Did it increase or did it drop?
Oh,
I
damn.
would say it really has increased. Like, there is a distinct difference between how animes looked back then and how animes look now. Because back then, you could tell by just looking at the graphic, they're a lot duller. But when you look at something new today, you can see there's more attention to like shadowing and color and which distinction is different between the next one.
Yeah, it's like all fine tuned. Like
Like a guitar, it has to be perfectly tuned.
Shiny.
the anime Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah, I
Which
think
one?
Duck called it out when we tried to do it last time.
Yeah, and that honestly is for me, has showed the quality growth over time because the animation of it, the smoothness of the of it all, just the transaction of it being smooth,
Yeah.
it just feels good.
Anyone else?
I pretty much agree with everything Zara pretty much said. Although I do prefer the hand-drawn style instead of the computer-drawn style. If you do something hand-drawn, you definitely see the detail definitely put into
Oh
it.
yeah.
You see
Take
the
an
work.
example of take like an example of the old school Mobile Suit Gundam series, like let's say Gundam Wing, or maybe I don't know, even Thunderbolt. I think Thunderbolt was also hand-drawn, or like Megalobox. All those series are pretty much hand-drawn. They look really nice, fluid, and detailed. I'm not saying that animes that are done by computer art is like not detailed either, but when it comes to hand-drawn, you definitely see the the hidden qualities of it.
Yeah, and that's something I have noticed about nowadays animes is that they rely heavily on CGI shit, which takes away
It's awful.
the value of the show.
Yeah.
Well, not series like when I was saying go on.
No, like I understand that sometimes they have to use it to do larger things, but when you look at a show where some of the movements have been so smooth and clean, and then all of a sudden they throw in this random ass CGI that looks blocky as hell, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Not many. Sorry, Doc.
Go ahead, Doug.
I was going to say, the only show that I can think of that I remember hearing people saying had the totally bad CGI was like that last Berserk anime that came out.
Yeah, the
That was
last two seasons
terrible.
of Berserk have relied heavily on CGI shit.
Yes. As I pointed out last time, Dragon Ball Super had that complaint during the beginning as well.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, if anything, I say this as for the Dragon Ball Super, I see that as like, like another thing that people talk about is like how like all these songs, animes look awful, and you're like, wow, this looks really bad, but it's not meant to be a high. It's the equivalent of drawing and trying to like have a high quality image at such a far
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
Like you have at the same time though, like
It's the design.
there's also motion, and you have to and the reason why like some things love it isn't more so because they're like, oh, we just did a bad job. Is no, it's because we're trying to execute essentially the flow of motion. When we
Yeah.
need we'll go for detail, and when we don't, you know, we won't.
Yeah, I mean, look at
Hmm.
Naruto for example. The everybody knows the pain fight. Remember what happened to that animation during the pain fight?
I
Yeah.
I
Oh my
know I
god,
didn't.
that shit was
If you haven't
funny
seen
as
it,
hell.
basically they were stretching out the faces a little bit. There's a scene where he gets smashed in the ground. His face just flexes backwards, but it's because that's what they had to work with back then. But at the same time, a lot of complaints are about it, but it was actually really good if you think about it.
Oh yeah, because it
Say
was
back
still all
then, like it
hand,
was like
Especially for that time period.
Yes.
because it was still all hand drawn and not like any computer really shit fucked with
Yeah.
that. It was all hand drawn, which was in itself kind of
you
weird,
say
but
back
it
then
kind
as
of
if it was like
fit.
20 plus years ago.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's
Considering
true.
how long the Naruto
Yeah.
series has been running, yeah, it seems like
It was
it's
in
Yeah, it
ninth
feels
grade
it.
when that came out. Thank you.
Well, I mean, you also got to take in consideration the producers and like the company that's running it,
Intention and
making
design
the anime
things.
and all that. Yeah, like because sometimes they might not have a big enough budget, might be pushing things. Sometimes it's just the money.
Anyone else got anything, or is that it?
Uh, I don't know. When it comes to 3D animation, I do notice that when it comes to like the really heavily gory anime series, it always gets the 3D animation. Taking into
Yeah.
account, there's a series that I've been following for a while since high school called Kingdom. Kingdom is pretty much based on the China War, like the three dynasties, three kingdoms, and everything.
Hmm.
And the manga has such high quality like style drawing and fights, and the anime Kingdom is 90% 3D for like no reason, and I don't understand why animes just like anime specifically like Kingdom and Berserk. And I just don't understand why they do that. If not, just to me, just don't do it because
Berserk
like
really didn't.
animes. Huh?
Berserk really didn't need the 3D animation. They just could have stuck with 2D, and it would have looked just fine.
Or I don't know, give it off to another studio, really.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we all know how animes help boost manga sales. You know they bring certain series to spotlight.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Bleach had the same issue when it comes to sales, but like when the anime ended early, we started to see the decline. I'm not sure if that's like 100% the fault of the anime or maybe the story or the characters or the written stuff, like how the story is written. But like if you don't have a good quality anime, I mean look at Demon Slayer. Like that boosted the entire series completely for the manga.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, if you don't have a good quality anime, then you're pretty much going to be hurting that original manga series
I
in
think
general.
Boku no Hero is another good example of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And look at the recent episode that came out. Did you guys also know that Deku was trending #1 trending on Twitter after that episode dropped?
Wow, I did not, but that's awesome.
I've still yet to watch that damn episode. I am behind.
Dude, you gotta catch up.
I know, I really do. I'm up
But yeah.
to. I think I was up to episode 12, 10. It was right when
No spoilers, man. No
Deku-
spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. he was about to start fighting the guy.
All right.
I'll just say that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next one, I suppose. All right. Any video game that came out in the past few years you were excited about, but when it came out you felt disappointed?
Oh, I got
Well,
this one. I got this
Yeah,
one.
I'm gonna go ahead and get mine out the way because it's small.
Go
For the past decade, I can definitely say Saints Row 3. Saints Row 3 was a series that was unsure if he was going to come out for a while, and then all of a sudden I saw it on the cover of Game Informer. I didn't know it was Saints Row because the cover, they look like rich motherfuckers, like top agent motherfuckers. And I look on the back of the Game Informer and just see Saints Row the Third on it. So I'm just like, okay, Saints Row 3's coming up. And I get it. I liked it the first time, but over the time I played the game, I noticed that there was a big chunk of what made the last two games miss: writing, creativity, characters, and just. My second playthrough of Saints Row the Third, I immediately realized that this is a drastic downfall from what made Saints Row 2 so great. First of all, the story was just lackluster compared to what the original two were. It was pretty much, if you're not a fan of Saints Row, we went from gangs to superstars. And Saints Row 3, like Saints Row 1 and 2 were heavily centered around story and gang fights. Saints Row 3, you are somewhat going up against a game, but it's more of an organization.
Yeah.
And you made the Saints like these super famous people for some freaking reason.
And then,
It took away everything that made the characters who they were. Not to mention, you killed off Johnny Gal off screen like the first 20 minutes of the game.
It all
Yeah.
screwed it.
That was
You're in a new city called I think it was Steelport or something. I don't really remember the name of the city.
so, yeah.
I do know that
About,
SR4
Saints Row 4.
any of those freaking aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fighting aliens. You're the president.
Not technically.
Fucking
You're
Matrix.
president for like 10 minutes of the game, and like everything else is superpowers.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're
I can
But they make
technically
it seem out to you in the game that you've been a president for
like years or your services, like 2 years. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other game, guys?
Yes, I have
There's-
one. It is Dissidia NT Final Fantasy. That game, I was so hyped up for that game because it was a Dissidia game being on the big screen now instead of like on the PSP. When it came out, it looked amazing. Character models were awesome, but the control, customization, and online servers were nothing but shit. Not to mention the story was so rushed and very short, not really worth it. Plus, the boss fights were too ridiculously hard. That's another thing. Like in the original Dissidia games back on the PSP, you had full customization of your characters about what armor they'd wear, what weapons they'd use. You got their costumes eventually over time, but they all had like their own thing they could use. Not to mention, they all had a separate story that connected to the bigger story. And this new one is just one story with different arcs to it, but it's still the same story because they're all fighting the same thing. It's not one individual character per story.
Yeah.
And that really pissed me off because I was really hyped for this game. I thought, oh man, this is going to be really cool. I wonder what this is going to be about.
Yeah.
And then coming out, it's just trash.
Mine is, everybody knows, we went over it last time. It is unfortunately my favorite game series, Kingdom Hearts 3. It, to me, just did not hit the way I wanted it to. And as I said, I guess I was spoiled by 2 because 2 is such a beautiful game. I think it's one of the best video games I've ever played in my entire life, if not the best. But when 3 came out, near the end, as I got to the end and I saw Aqua, this isn't even a spoiler here, but you see her and all the end stuff starts happening. It just went so quick. It was like everything's rushed. There was no time to even process what was going on, you couldn't enjoy it because they kept rushing to this part. It's like, oh, these people are reunited, these people are reunited. And in the worlds, there were some good worlds. I mean, Toy Story was good, but
Oh, Toy
freaking
Box was
Frozen,
awesome.
Frozen was so. Ugh.
And you
They
know the funny
literally
thing of
pulled scenes out of the movie and put it in the
Yes,
game.
and I hate being that guy.
I don't know
because-
why.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Technically, don't understand why they went with that type of style when it came to stuff like Tangled and Frozen. Like in the past Kingdom Hearts games, like they went by the story, but it was always something original. Here, it's just like, hey, look at that, we can replicate the movies.
Yes,
And
that's
the
my
only-
problem, man. That's exactly my problem.
And like the only ones, like I don't know, they should have honestly done Dead Man Tell No Tales instead of like the third Pirates movie. I can understand what they were doing, but you skip Dead Man's chest and you leave out chunks of like at World's End. Like there was no explanation of Elizabeth and William's relationship struggle. You don't even pretty much see half of the original casting, which I can understand, I guess. And not to mention, you picked the worst movie to do. That is not to me. I like At World's End because I'm just a Pirates of the Caribbean fanboy in general, but like
Yeah, same.
when it comes to that movie, there is so much going on. Everyone has a motive. Everyone wants to do something, and you just can't explain that at all in like a matter of an hour. Like you have to see the first two movies, know what's going on, and the fact that we see chunks of the story gone is just.
Very disappointing.
It's like you might as well just not even have the world in it. Like half the time, just collecting crabs. You're doing battle the ship battles were. I liked it, but then when I played it again the second time, it just became monotonous and just wasn't really all that fun to begin with. Honestly,
It was an interesting idea, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
No
The
other
execution
games
just was not there.
done that, but it's just unique.
Another
Another
thing, you guys?
thing,
Oh, go ahead.
another thing I wanted to really say is that I can definitely say I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3, but I can say that it was the game that we really weren't waiting 13 years for.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You go down, Metallic Reptile.
It's a game called Kingdom Come Deliverance, the console version. I got seen the gameplay of it of the PC version and all that. I know the story and all that, all the mechanics, but the translation to the console just felt too rushed and not cared for. But then again, it was a small team, like 3 guys made it, and for that, make a good game like that, just felt kind of forced with the console though.
I actually saw Angry Joe
Yeah,
actually
it's
did it actually made one of his disappointing game lists of I think 2019, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, it was on there, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I just enjoy the mechanics of it, like of
What game you talking about?
everything. Kingdom Come Deliverance. I mean, it's kind of just one of those types of games, you know. It's like
Yeah.
I'll say this. For me, my game was Agents of Mayhem. Like, I remember I made a video and I just do that game in the trash as a joke because Sonic Mania had just came out, right? And I immediately spent $20 on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I like Sonic Mania. I grew up playing Sonic. Why would I not get this game? And then after a while, it hit me like that joke wasn't a joke. That was an actual state of mind because it just became more apparent how bad this game is. Like the whole mechanics and in-game systems and all that. Like the fact that just here's a really stupid and trivial thing they decided was a good idea. So in most games, you just go and steal a call, right?
Yeah.
But no, you know what you need to do? You need to you just have your call and it comes to you automatically, right? And you stand in the spot, you jump into it. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, right? But then they made it bad by essentially saying, okay, well, you know, what do we do now? And the answer is this, right? You give the players a call, but in order to get other calls, you have to like go around the map and hope you pass by a particular vehicle you have to take to a location, and then after you do that, you don't get a new call, but you have to do it more times because it's only a part of a call.
What?
Yeah.
That just sounds weirdly unnecessary
Yeah.
specific.
What's
Like,
part is
Uh,
Yeah.
what's part is there's no there's no difference than any of the other cars. Not that I've noticed because there's no stats, right? So I'm like, well, what's the point? Especially when you can't even shoot from your car. You can't you couldn't even shoot from your car. You had to get out, shoot, and then hop back in. Dealing with the vehicles and all that, you just had to ram them off the road, which felt bad.
mm,
The worst part about that game was I bought into the DLC craze and I got Johnny Gat, right? Because I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna get him. He's Johnny Gat. And then I played the game and I was like, okay. And honestly, I'll say this: for a moment, he felt pretty broken. Like I felt like he literally carried the whole thing, right? I was like,
that's I'm not surprised by Johnny Gat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that also made the game annoying was the fact that whenever you do a certain amount of in-game activities, like taking over enemy control points and all that,
Yeah.
Mm.
after a while, they'll just get mad and then go take that area you already claimed, right? And you have to like reclaim it, and it'll be even more harder. Right? Like, I mean, that's literally a moment where the game just says, "Hey, look, you piss these guys off so much they just do in like a doomsday machine, right? Which you can't ignore because it just is not ignorable, and really discourages players from going around trying to clear out everything.
yeah.
There's also like a bunch of other stuff about it, bugs, like poor gameplay decisions and loops. And the worst part was, from what I've seen from the end of the game, it hinted at the idea of, hey, there's going to be another game, like where we focus on the rest of the bad guys. No, you don't. That game is dead. That game is so fucking awful.
All right, Ryan, would you want to go next?
Didn't like fighters.
Be specific here.
I don't know. I guess I just had the wrong expectations for it, to be honest. If I tried it again, I might like it. But
Oh, he's talking about Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, Fire Z. Yeah, what were you expecting?
I don't know. Apparently, it's something else. It looks good though. I mean,
Oh
if
yeah,
I
the
tried it
graphics,
again,
graphics are clean as hell
Yeah.
in it, but it's like
It looks
Yeah.
pretty, yeah.
I don't
I'll give it that too.
Yeah. I also
Fighters,
really like the.
go ahead, Marcus. Storyteller.
I can see why he was disappointed in it. Dragon Ball, to me, as a person who plays a lot of fighting games, Dragon Ball Fighter Z really brought what Dragon Ball needed to the table. Like, it had really good gameplay. It was built by Arc System Works, the developers who also developed the Guilty Gear series.
Yeah.
And I can definitely say it has an original story, which I think a lot of Dragon Ball games that come out really lack upon. I mean,
Oh,
name
very
one
much.
Dragon Ball game.
Yeah.
Name one Dragon Ball game that didn't follow the story besides Xenoverse. Well, okay, Xenoverse
like
followed it, but
Following
put
the
a
story.
twist on it.
So
Ultimate Tenkaichi didn't follow the main story. It was their own.
We don't talk about that game.
What was wrong with Ultimate Tenkaichi?
You mean the game based
Right.
on luck?
for the win.
The rock paper scissors game.
Rock,
Yeah.
paper, scissors, Dragon Ball.
Basically.
Hey, don't look at my controller, bro. Video game.
No, let me rephrase that. Raging Blast 2 didn't follow the story. I don't think Raging Blast 1 did either. I
And
don't
Blast 2
remember.
didn't have a story.
Ugh.
Oh, right.
Hmm.
Which game had like the
But
shadow
yeah,
versions, by the way? Like you had to fight the shadow versions of your character. I think it was
I don't
Xenoverse
know.
1, maybe. It was
Yeah,
Xenoverse
so-
1. God, I hate
I
that.
think they did the same thing with Xenoverse 2.
Yeah, they did it in both of them.
Come
Yeah.
on,
I like
guys. Why?
I like Tenkaichi 3 the best. Still,
That's the GG. Everyone likes that one.
Oh, which
But
one?
yeah,
Tenkaichi 3.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, but I can see his disappointment. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The story, I can definitely say it's not the best in my opinion. I don't know why, but there was just something that was just really boring about the story. I wasn't really too much into it. That's the mission. I think it didn't have any background music either, which in some of the cutscenes. Am I wrong? Or did it have background?
Some of them, some of the scenes had some background music, but it was like very little, and it didn't like really help make like the
Work.
the mood of the scene really work. So
It didn't work.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
guys, on the topic of movies here, let's start with Scott Pilgrim.
oh, I was gonna say something else
Go ahead.
For the
about
win.
video games.
No, it's too late. We already changed topics.
We can still talk
Go.
about this.
No.
This is a personal question of mine, but is anyone looking forward to a game this year?
Yes.
Like, is anyone
Oh.
looking forward to a certain type of game?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Same.
Game is no more hero free. Baby, let's go. Look. I'm gonna explain this real quick. All right? No More Heroes
Quick.
1 came out
Here we go.
like 2008, right? And I got that game by mistake when I went to Blockbuster with my grandma, right? Boy, that game was a banger. No 2, right? I went
Real
back
quick.
the next day and got the game I wanted, played that, got to the last boss. That game is a banger. I went back years later, bought it. God, I love it, right?
Bang.
Last year,
Uh,
Shooter 51, the madman behind Let It Die, right? Killer
Mm.
7, and Saddles of the Down, right? He
and
dropped-
Lollipop Chainsaw.
I have no game excited for, by the way. That's just me. I have nothing right now.
Really?
Either.
Nothing.
None.
Oh,
Huh.
that's cool.
I have
me-
multiple actually.
Yeah,
I had
same.
no Protectorate, but
Pick
it looks
one.
like that didn't
Pick
turn out
one,
too
though,
well.
so we can get by this.
Persona 5 the Royal. And probably Persona 5 Scram. Persona 5 Royal, like, well, I had to explain it different times because we're trying to save time here, but I'm looking forward to that.
Hmm.
I've got 3 games I'm looking forward to within the next 2 months. It's
Well-
Persona 5
Okay.
Royal, Doom Eternal, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm looking forward to those.
I've not played Final Fantasy VII.
Bro, you're missing out. What you need to do is you need to play the first one, the original on the PS1
I haven't
first.
played
Then-
one of them.
No, honestly, I have to disagree with that. Let's not start them off with the first Final Fantasy game. Let's let them pick one and then go around. Honestly,
I haven't played with one of them.
Metallic
Do it.
Reptile, did you choose yours? I don't remember if you did or not.
No, not yet. I think looking forward to most is it was just recently announced the Pokemon Mystery. It's just basically just because of nostalgia, and I've really been missing a good Pokemon game because the recent one is just it's just more of the same stuff, and
I mean, Sword and
Yeah, it's
Shield.
basically. Oh, you mean Shield? I thought you were talking about Eevee and Pikachu because that was basically Yellow remaster.
yeah, that one was That one was weird. I like what it came with the Pokeball controller. That thing.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that was
Mm.
expensive. But the Sword and Shield, I just didn't care too much for it because they just brought like, hey, you remember all those Pokemons you liked? Well, here, go catch them again.
That's really all the new Pokemon games are. It's just they add like maybe one or two new legendary type Pokemon that
Yeah.
do nothing for the story.
Yeah, but like with the mystery dungeon, I'm hoping
Cash
with
grab.
the story and like you know,
I hope so
Just-
too.
I was
Alright.
like nostalgia.
Alright, on the movie topic, as I said earlier, Scott Pilgrim.
That's the win.
I absolutely love that movie.
I think it's one of the best movies ever.
That's
Really?
the win.
Any disagreements with the movie? Things you didn't like about it?
But
Nope.
They could
my-
have handled some characters better.
I mean,
Yeah.
at the same time,
could have handled a lot of things better.
well,
Ryan, would you like to explain?
I hate the ending.
He does.
Ryan, that doesn't make sense that you would disagree with the ending. Why would he go for the other girl when he's been trying so hard to get with this one other, with Ramona?
Oh God.
Like, what the fuck?
Would have been a better lesson.
wait,
I don't
No.
see.
You're going this based off of looks? Really?
Honestly, I'm
What are you
just
basing
gonna
it on? Sorry.
Who's? Let me talk. Wait,
sorry.
All right.
okay, am I going or?
Anybody
I
just
don't know.
go.
Okay.
All right, story, you go.
Son of a bitch! Fuck up! Alright, that's it. Fuck it. I'm going. I'm sick of this shit. Seriously.
Okay, go then. Damn. Chill, Marcus.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Honestly, he had no. In my opinion, he didn't really have a specific reason to want to go with Ramona because he
Thank you.
appeared in her dream. Like Knives has
Yes.
been there to support him and actually love him. This girl had no interest in it. The whole thing with the film all of a sudden just having sex didn't make any sense either. It's just they talk about stuff and all of a sudden he walks in her in like in her underwear and her bra. All of a sudden they have sex and it's just like he didn't have any reason to really be with her at all. Like Knives is one of the best girls in the movie and he
Yeah,
ditches
he had
her
it
for
based
like
on a
Yeah.
dream.
this girl.
I mean, he kind of just fell for the pussy.
And Scott's apparently a man whore, which I don't
Which
even
I
really like.
which I explained to Ryan the other day. That's the problem with it. Like, I think Knives really deserved him, but I don't think he deserved Knives just because of how he was. Like you said, he was a man whore.
Yeah.
I think in the
Yeah,
end,
it was.
Yes.
in the end, would she truly be happy with him after everything he did? Who knows? He could have another dream about another girl that walks down the street and he's like, "Oh, look at that," and just continuously
That's
hurt
true.
Knives just because of who he is. That's my
Okay.
agreement with that.
I got a question for those who read the comics. Was he like this in the comics too?
Okay, I was fin- okay. Can I chime in?
Yeah, go Duck.
Okay, so a couple of things. One of the alternative scenes, instead of going with Mona, he goes with Knives.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at the end of it, you could just see there's a look where it's like, yo, was this the best option? Right?
Yes.
So like, so that was an option too, right?
yeah.
In the comics and all that at the end, and then Knives. So like, in the comics, Knives and Scott don't get back together, but I think Knives and young
Neil.
young Neil.
Isn't Neil the gay guy or?
No,
no,
Neil
was the band dude. He was in the band
was-
as well.
he was the guy
Well, kinda.
Scott's place.
He was the bassist.
Yeah, and so the if anything, at the end of the comic, after some time had passed, Ramona came back, or at least the door to Ramona's hyperspace, hypertime subspace appeared in front of him game and he wouldn't do it. Kind of like how they did at the end of the movie. You know?
See, I wouldn't really know anything about this because I've not read the comics personally. I really
I
want
have.
to though, but I have never read them.
You should.
I really should because I've seen some videos about it and I'm thinking like, wow, that looks like it could be a really cool comic book to spend some time reading.
You ever,
I hate reading.
you ever think Knives should be like the evil version of Scott? Because the evil version of Scott wasn't actually evil if you think about it.
I mean, she could technically, but that kind of be weird because she'd have to get used to all the color disfigurations and shit like that.
Look, I'll say this, right? One more time. And I'll say this. For what it's worth, they handled the subject and the story, you know, like decently,
Yeah.
given the fact that they only had like one movie to work with, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, though, there was a whole thing where, like, in the comic, like the way Nega Scott got introduced and all that, it was like, okay, well, he comes up earlier before just the straight end of the movie, and in short,
Wasn't there like some alternate scenes like where Scott was encountering him like in the mirrors and shit?
I don't know. I have to. I don't have my DVD anymore, so I probably have to.
What happened to your DVD?
Huh?
You can get rid of it.
No, I got I got lost.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything to add?
The one thing was this, right? The whole point of Nega Scott in the first place was essentially Scott kept. So the whole point of it was Scott kept like choosing to forget his past instead of accepting it and trying to move on. And because of that, he kept making the same stupid mistakes. And it wasn't until like Cam was like, "Dude, you got to move past it. You're a piece."
Yeah.
Right, and so it's the moment he finally did. And boom, and then he just went back to Toronto in the most baller of ways possible.
Anybody else got anything to add?
Sure. I never really got to read the comics. I only really watched the movie, and I know I really want to read the comics because I've seen some of the
Clips.
articles, yeah, and I really like it. But like for the first time I saw the movie, I was high and shit, and like I was busting laughing, and I couldn't focus, so I had to rewatch it again. And just every time, it just made me want to get high though.
Ryan, did you say you wanted to add something? I can't remember if you did.
Makes me sad.
How does it make you sad?
Because of the knives thing?
Oh, why?
Oh,
Yes.
Alright, this one, a lot of
Knives
us...
and shit.
Yeah, this one, a lot of us aren't going to really know about, but for the sake of Ryan, we will discuss it, and that is working out topics. Anybody have anything to talk about toward working out?
Yes, actually. Like I'm the first person to speak up. That I don't think anyone in this group works out like that. Everything you hear about, just exercise. Don't eat a lot of heavy meals. Don't drink a lot of caffeine. Don't.
I don't think I
What I did to lose the weight I lost like 50 pounds 2 years ago. I went
50
from
pounds.
225
That's a good amount.
to 183. And all I did was just run around my neighborhood 4 laps around the neighborhood, and just eat chicken and vegetables.
That's
And
what I'm
drink a lot
about
of
to
water.
Hmm.
And I lost 50 pounds just doing that.
I mean, with the diet stuff, you got to figure out what's good for you. Because diets don't. And you got to figure out what your body type is, or to figure out what you need,
Mm-hmm.
and work around that. And honestly,
So
you
many
might
carbs.
post. Yeah.
What I need is a pizza in my mouth. That's what I need.
or I
I
could use.
just had pizza rolls too.
Your
Oh,
need a pizza?
Well, Ryan, since this is your topic, do you want to say anything?
I don't have a whole lot right now, other than I'm about to do it myself again for the upteenth time. Although hopefully it sticks this time.
Good luck,
Hmm.
man.
Yeah,
I just need to
okay.
find a pool.
Yeah.
That's all I need to do. I need to find a long.
Need a
You
box
can
bell.
get a pool at Dean Brent, actually at the Southwest Community Center. They have a pool there.
Let me tell you, this man is an
You
amazing
need a
swimmer,
barbell.
ladies and gentlemen. Czar Bloodheart is like the best swimmer ever. He fucking
Bloodheart.
is like David Hasselhoff from the SpongeBob movie. It's crazy.
You're only saying that
His
because
nipples, his boobs just like move side too.
no, it's the reason he says that is because a little bit of a story time right here.
Be careful on name
he
drops.
Dale and another one of our friends invited me over to a lake that's kind of near our house. And when I got there, they were already in there swimming, and they're like, "Hey, man, come on in." I was like, "All right." So I take off my shirt and I look towards them, and they're like, "Oh crap, he's gonna start jumping."
Yeah.
And then I just dash through the fucking water and end up straight in their faces as soon as they turn around.
Yes, and our friend was like, "Damn, bitch, slow down."
I was like, I wasn't even going that fast. I was just going normal
This isn't
speed.
even my maximum power.
All right,
If you
we'll
cut out
talk.
the sugar, you'd be perfect.
We'll talk about 2 news articles and then we'll close off.
Yeah.
The first one we talked about
Okay.
last time, that we
That's like
really didn't even come to a good conclusion. I think we just kind of said a few things about it, but the China virus.
Ugh.
Yeah, the coronavirus.
That
Last
really
time I
is-
read, it was
that really
15 deaths, and I don't even know how many number people have got it. But
Like
apparently,
the case-
people in
Yeah,
Canada
up over
might
there.
have it. People in America might have it. Any
Yeah.
thoughts? Anything you guys want to say about it?
Well,
Yeah.
first off, I would like to say that don't believe every article you read, because a lot of articles are just made for clicks and fear mongering. All you
Yeah.
need is to
Especially if it's
hear
boomer
one thing,
articles.
and then yes, do not believe everything you hear. Only look at the facts and just make sure you have an open mind about it. The virus is very serious down there in China. I'm not really sure how much it's contained, or if they're really coming to a conclusion how to handle. But it is a really nasty situation, and I don't even know if this is a new virus or not. I've never heard this.
I think it is.
It's a new one.
How did this come about? Like, do we know how the virus, like,
I think it's air.
supposedly,
No,
I think it
they
was
ate
like
a fish or something, wasn't it? I swear I read it was about eating something.
Yeah, that's what I heard from a friend at work who told me like it happened from like this fish apparently had this virus, and when they caught it, I think they opened it up and
I think the person ate it.
That's
it went
pretty much-
airborne?
I swear that person ate it. I read the article about it.
Mm,
But I
So
want
a fish gave us
Yeah.
this disease.
to say
Damn.
though, like I said this last time. This happens a lot with the world, like the World War III thing that everybody went panicked about. Storyteller
Wow.
talked about that last time. Or the closest example I can think is when we were all in school, the swine flu thing happened and everyone was freaking out. And then turns out we got a cure for it. Now, like I said
Platoon.
last time when we did this, I don't want to sound
also
like
thought-
we don't care about it, like we're saying it's not a big deal for the people who suffer through it, or you don't know, next week everybody's infected and we're all going to sound like fucking assholes. I don't want to sound like that
Yeah.
either. So it's like I said, our
No.
condolences to those people suffering through it. But I think, as usual, people overreact.
yeah.
yes, the World War III memes really pissed me off. Like I can understand you
Oh,
memeing up
yeah.
something to make it like make the impact softer, but when I saw that shit trending, and I just saw it was nothing but memes, I immediately started to hate memes. I did not like memes like that anymore, like I used to. That just
Yep.
kind of just really killed it for
It
me.
was so stupid.
And there were people who were close to me freaking out about this shit. People who are like gullible, very like scared and have anxiety. And this is what I always say, man. Fear mongering it's like another thing. Did you guys hear about that net neutrality thing that happened a couple of years back?
Oh,
Yes.
that's stupid.
Apparently, people were saying they were going to have to spend $1 for a tweet, $1 to buy this app, $1 to
It was
post a
so
video. It's just,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
like, I was a part of that. I was thinking, okay, maybe they're trying to do this shit. I was up there, calling my offices and shit. And as the years went by, we're not paying $1 for a tweet. And apparently, the internet connections to a lot of people in America went up to like 13% when the net neutrality was taken away. I honestly don't understand. And not to mention, the net neutrality defense team's Twitter is gone. Apparently, they deleted their account. So
what are you
it's
saying
like,
here?
don't believe everything you like hear from people.
Ever.
Look and like
Do that.
into the facts. Look into what's really going on.
Like, are you
Yeah,
implying here
she did a
that?
good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you guys go.
No.
I was
He's
thinking.
You just need.
Oh, go,
Jesus
Matata,
Christ.
go.
You just really need a good and trustworthy. Is factual one that you can
Yes.
rely on. Otherwise, you're just gonna create panic for yourself and others.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, it's just like I really feel dumb for really buying into a lot of shit that I really believed was like going to happen. Or I mean, it's just I don't fear mongering. I joined this called Doomsday Debunk, and we debunk a lot of like false predictions, people fear mongering news articles and stuff. And
Yeah.
I go down that list and I see a lot of people post every day. I'm so scared. I'm like, people think about committing suicide because of a lot of this shit. Because their anxiety, their depression, their fear. And when I joined that group and I was helping debunking this stuff, it made me realize I despise fear mongering. I despise people making up these things to scare them into doing ridiculous action.
Why would you want to
And-
fear into people? It's just ridiculous.
No, it's nothing.
Clicks,
It comes out of it.
honestly.
Yeah.
And it's just I not to mention, apparently last year we were supposed to get hit by an asteroid that was supposed to destroy like a whole city.
Oh,
And not to mention that same news
Man.
article who said that turned around and made another article and say, this asteroid, a near miss, is not gonna hit, but like it's really, really close.
of course.
It's just fuck you. Like I hate this shit now, and and it's just I don't like fear mongering. I don't like this whole like people come like these stupid topics, and it's just really pisses me off. And I have people who are close to me who are like they don't really look into the facts. They believe everything they see. Anxiety kicks in, and just they like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I do not appreciate any of this stuff that goes on with this, and I just feel extremely stupid for believing a lot of shit from like years and years.
I
Anybody
think
else
that
got anything
meteor.
to
I think that meteor story came out. The meteor shower.
Yeah.
What was happening?
This is what he's saying. What is he saying?
I'm saying you're a dumbass.
Asshole.
You're welcome.
Moving on.
All right. Well, if there's nothing anybody else has to add, I will go to our final topic.
Oh, boy,
All
here
right.
it
Our
comes.
final topic for this is Kobe Bryant's death.
That was
R.I.P.
fucked.
That came out of nowhere.
Helicopter
That
death
really-
with his daughter.
No survivors.
The pilot.
Okay,
the,
before we get into
people
it,
landed
and I
on it.
apologize to anybody's trying to talk right now, I want to say, because Storyteller was talking about the memes earlier, one of the first things I saw was a meme as soon as 2 minutes after it was heard from TMZ or whatever that he died, I was seeing memes about it, which
Yeah.
is very...
What?
It's very
Yeah, it was
disappointing
very-
to see. We even have a friend, no name dropping, of course, especially since we don't want them to get attacked, who joked about it, which it's hard to discuss because the way it is, I'm sure a lot of people watching this will even disagree with us just because how people are. Everything is gonna get a meme of, And I think someone even said, like, oh, well, how would you know? Maybe they wanted memes about them. But even so, I mean, you got to give that time.
Yeah.
Like, 9/11
It's like
even
with
had
9/11
time.
jokes. Yeah.
Everything in the world needs time. I mean, you could be, I don't know if Kobe Bryant has a wife or something, but if, you were the
He
wife
does.
and you were just seeing on Facebook a bunch of memes about it, you're not going to be happy. I would even say that, your sister,
yeah.
your son, or your whatever you have could die any second. You want a meme of them, but you
Yeah.
can't really say that because there's some sick people out there who would actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
So
There's
it's
some
hard to
sick-
talk about that, but that's something that bothers me.
Oh, I would like to interject.
I want to go on. I actually want to add on to that, but first, before I begin talking, I want to say I was never really big into basketball. I was never really big into
Me
sports at
neither.
all. But when
I was
Kobe
Yeah,
Bryant was
everyone knew
Kobe
him.
Bryant was somebody who really inspired a lot of basketball players.
He was in
And
movies,
from what I've
man.
heard, he was a really
Mhm.
yeah, he was a really down to earth individual. And when I heard that his daughter was in that whole entire helicopter crash, I really couldn't believe it. She was 13 years old, and all that just ended for her just like that. And I just couldn't
Yeah.
imagine like the panic
Yeah.
that she in her like. But yeah, I also had a friend of mine from like a long time, like my brother's friend Pierre. He looked a lot like Kobe Bryant, and he was a big fan of Kobe Bryant too. I cannot imagine what he's going through that day when he found that.
Oof.
And to add into what John said, a lot of those memes are just trolls. Like those, like
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
actually when I opened up Twitter and I saw that there are people. There's some motherfucker who posted a Grand Theft Auto 5 helicopter crash. It was just, it's just honestly, it's just he's just a shitty person. Like you go on Twitter, you see a lot of shitty people. It's just some jackass who wants to piss people off at the worst times. And honestly, I've been through way too many. I'm a person. It's gonna be off the top. I'm a person who does a lot of course, online-based fighting games, Dark Souls invasions. I get messages like that and people like that all the time, and it just hit me. It's just like, wow, you're just a shitty person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, a lot
there are
of people
people
are
out
like-
there. Not everyone's like that. It's just this individual, or maybe other individuals who just want to just piss people off for no reason because their lives are probably shit. And I just want to go ahead and just say that.
Ryan, you
I
wanted to
agree.
say something, I think?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as far as people turning, these things into memes so fast, it kind of reminds me of a quote from a movie, Scream 4. They said, "One generation's tragedy is the next one's joke."
Oh,
No.
yeah, that's a good quote.
Mm.
Duckbot, we
Yeah.
haven't heard from you in a while, Duckbot. Do you want to say anything?
The main thing I was gonna say was this. No, went back earlier, back late last year when Juice WRLD died. I remember I was in this it's always sunny in Philadelphia shit posting group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were making mad jokes fast. Like I'm like, yo, bro, this is stupid. I even brought it up to one of my friends, right? And he was like, but he was like, bro, like, what do you expect from a shit posting group? I don't care if it's a shit post. The point is, there's a little like time limit you have to wait.
Yes.
Because a man just died. Whether it was his or not, whether the circumstances were like anyone's, a lot of life ago, and you like, yeah, I want to make these quick jokes with them,
Mm-hmm.
nigga.
And that person's dead. They have no say whatsoever. They are in the grave. They are gone to whatever you believe in. They are gone. They cannot defend themselves. So whatever you say about them, it just sticks forever.
Dirty.
It's just dirty, yeah.
No, I mean, to me, I don't know. Like when you say time, and when this person said time or time in general,
That was Duck.
is there really a time? Honestly, like, why would you want to joke about someone's death, even if like time really passed by after that? That doesn't make any sense to me, like at all.
Really.
I don't
Especially
get
about-
that.
I think it's only with
You got any
certain
rebuttal
things.
for it, Duck?
I mean, no, I mean he's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, is that
Yeah.
it? Anybody else got an
It's
opinion
just-
about it?
It's really fucked up, and it sucks because we've lost a really good basketball player. Not to mention we've lost three, or how many people were in the plane? Like three,
I
four.
cannot
Four.
say for sure.
Four.
I think it was 9 last time
Dang.
I heard anything.
I thought it was
Honestly,
That's
Honestly,
a
I
whole lot
don't-
of people just gone in an
Yeah.
instant with
I know how it goes.
no way to come back from what they just went through.
Yeah.
Also,
It's really fucked.
I'm sorry to interrupt you like that, Zarba. Actually, my other friend at work actually brought up a good point. A lot of people, from what I've heard, were only talking about Kobe. They did not bring up Gigi at all. Like even the headlines kind of just shouted over her daughter, his daughter.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
didn't even talk about the
understand it
pilot
like
or the other pass.
They're just more concerned about Kobe.
Yeah.
besides,
You're more concerned about getting views.
Yes.
I said besides Kobe, the only other thing I've been hearing people talk about, like, bro, don't forget this nigga had rape charges.
What?
What?
Like, yeah. Because the thing is, back in the day, he did have like rape charges against him. And everybody's like, hey, don't forget, just because he's dead.
Were the allegations, or was there any proof of it?
I'm not sure because honestly, for the most part, I didn't know that till like some years when I was like a kid, and even then, I wasn't a sports fan, and so like I didn't look into him because I'm not really interested in him anyway.
Apparently, the rape charges were apparently false allegations or something like that. Because if it was brought up, it would have been brought up like as soon as he passed away, or someone would have been talking about it. So it's got to be just false allegations.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I guess that's the end of the podcast. Anybody want to say anything?
Stay tuned for more. There's going to be more
Stay tuned.
podcasts.
Things don't get better as
Yeah.
time goes
Same
on.
dumbasses, same time. Not really.
We might eventually get some other people on here, but
Better
yes,
mic
we shall have a
thing.
guest.
People,
I want to
Yeah.
say one thing. If anybody's watching this and you have any questions or concerns, or you just have any suggestions for us, please tell us. We would really like that actually. And
we're gonna work on a place to
us to meet up and do this better, so that way we don't get like backlash, wind, and
Yeah.
quiet.
But all right, this was the Dumbass Podcast, and for Duckbot's stream, it is the Talk About It. Thank you guys so much. Bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.